Hi, Todd Dankert here with the National Marijuana News, and we are at the High Times Cannabis Cup 2015, and wow, our booth just got classed up, that's for sure. We have the lovely Andrea over here.
Hello, how are you guys?
There on the right there is the lovely Erica. They join us from Playboy TV, and who are they hanging around with? Well, none other than BigMike. BigMike from Advanced Nutrients. He is the man, he is the nutrient guy in the industry. He's been with Advanced for a long, long time. They've done a ton of stuff for medical marijuana, right?
That's right. I'm glad to be here and on your show at this great venue here in San Bernardino, the Cannabis Cup. It's a really great thing that when you look at what's happened in the whole cannabis world, I mean, 5 years ago to think like something like this could have been here with this kind of attention and turnout, it says a lot about who we are and where this industry is going to go.
I agree. Where is the industry going? What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you, this industry is in a huge flux. I know personally I've got like big name companies, I get bothered like 2-3 times a month to go public and all this kind of stuff. And we got Monsanto actively pursuing companies, and Scott's is showing interest. And here's the deal. This industry wasn't very professional before, and one of the things that I've always done is to maintain a really high status of professionalism, because I knew that this day was going to come. It was written on the wall, and a lot of guys aren't prepared. A lot of people just don't realize that they have to get serious about this. You can't sit there in a hydroponic store and not engage the growers and the people that are coming in anymore. You can't sit there and get stoned all day and play video games. You actually have to do a job. Yeah, you have to feel like a business. And there's a new breed coming in, and that new breed, they're going to tear the hell out of the guys, the old school guys, and they got to step up. And a lot of them are scared, and they are stepping up and realizing just what's going to happen. But this business is in a huge flux, and the flux that's going to come in is big business.
Yeah, no,
and you have to be prepared.
You know, up to this point, in order to be involved in this business, you had to be a criminal, right? You had to really break the law.
I've been growing for 32 years, so I guess I was one of those criminals, you know. But I never looked at it that way.
Right, no, of course not. But that's how it was, right? And now
absolutely.
the curve is kind of being pulled back.
Oh, yeah.
And people are coming out of the shadows, right? I like to call this kind of history Cannabis 2.0. The end of the beginning. Because the beginning of the cannabis industry is kind of done, right?
Oh, yeah.
Big business moved in. Science has moved in.
I wrote an article called The Beginning of the End, right? And,
oh, you did?
Yeah, it was like
that's
2
great.
years ago, 3 years ago. I predicted this 3 years ago exactly what has happened, step by step, and what's going to happen.
And where do you see it going from here?
It's going to get huge. I mean, we're looking at, I was already multi-billion. It's going to go into hundreds of billions worldwide. What I see is the federal government capitulating very quickly and going to start taxing. How do I know they're going to do that? Because they put out a tender for 12 acres of marijuana going outdoors and 1,000 square feet indoors. But here's the kicker. It was because they wanted to know the different strains in THC and cannabinoid levels. Why? Because they're going to apply the alcohol model. The model they know, higher the proof of the alcohol, the more that they charge. And they're getting ready. I mean, they're missing out on massive amounts of money. So they're going to jump in very quickly here, and then it's all over. People have always asked me, you know, BigMike, what do you think it's going to happen? I said, and I'll still say, when we cross the line between 30 and 35 states, that's when it's going to happen. That's going to be pretty close in 2016. That's going to happen. We're looking at about 14 to 16 other states are going to be legalizing medical marijuana or recreational use. It's going to be a watershed moment in 2016. By 2017 to 19, the government will throw in the towel, and they have a plan together to tax it. And it's going to change. It's going to change the whole world, not just America, because America forces its policies, its drug policies, all around the world, and that's no longer going to be the case, and countries are going to be able to do what they want.
Right, so are you in favor of standards and regulations?
Oh yeah, you have. Look, this is medicine, and you have to treat it seriously. You better know how many milligrams per kilogram of THC that whatever product that you're making, and it has to be the highest level. People are ingesting this. I mean, they're either vaporizing, smoking it, or edibles, and it has to be really, really clean. And you see that happen now. You see a lot of serious guys out there doing the right thing. Case in point, we know that Michigan is already looking at heavy metals. Well, when you use advanced nutrients, you grow your medicine with it, it's safer in regards to heavy metal toxicity than drinking water. We made sure that we already know that was coming down the line.
Well, let's talk about advanced money.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know, you guys have spent lots of money,
Yes,
really, helping the medical marijuana community. Talk about that for a minute.
Well, yeah.
And why you do what you do.
Okay, why we do it? First of all, I'm a part of the plant. I've been growing for 32 years. I'm 54 years old now, almost 55, and I've had a love affair with the plant. And I'm passionate about it, and I'll tell you, we do a lot to help. I hate like bragging, but here's the deal. I talk about this. It's like we've given out over $1 million worth of nutrients over the years and equipment to needy medical marijuana patients. In fact, I cannot think of a time that our company has turned away anyone for anything that come to us. And so that we've helped. There's called our Cannabis Care program. We're working with Cannabis Moms in Denver. We built up a grow room so they can have medicine for the kids that they are healing, as well as working with some other people bringing some high CBD, low THC medicine for them as well, because this is a real issue and it has to be dealt with. So we do a lot.
Great.
Yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
There's a lot more.
Sure. Well, a lot of people don't even know anything about marijuana that listen to our show. We try to educate them as much as we can. So tell us what NPK is, and isn't it all the same?
No, it isn't. I get an argument.
What's NPK?
Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Okay. And here's the thing: what people don't realize about marijuana. Marijuana is an accumulator plant. They use it. They actually tested in Chernobyl to suck up radiation. If it didn't get radioactive plant, got to get rid of that. But it works. And so, in regards to toxicity and all the bad stuff, mostly is held in phosphorus. And cannabis does not use a lot of phosphorus. I've proven that. In fact, I've released data to the marketplace so the nutrient companies would stop harming their patients and doing that. So it doesn't use a lot of phosphorus. It uses a lot of potassium and nitrogen, and phosphorus carries the heavy metals load. So you don't want to give a lot of phosphorus to your plant. So that's NPK. And then you have your micronutrients. The cannabis plant uses different amounts of what we call macronutrients and secondary nutrients, which is like your sulfur, your calcium, your magnesium, and your micronutrients. And it uses different ratios at different times. It's kind of like a child, like growing up. A plant and a vegetable uses more calcium than it will in flower. It also uses more zinc and more manganese, right? So anyway, the data's all out there. In fact, at our booth, we're giving out a white paper that has all that research into it.
So, nice. Is that your website, maybe?
Yeah, you can probably find a download for it on the website as well, but yeah, we're giving it out here.
Oh, that's great.
Handing it out.
Great. So there's so many nutrient companies out there, right?
Yeah, there are. They come and they go real fast.
Yeah. And how have you been able to really, pass the test and really, create the market share?
Okay, so I'm a license in Bulgaria. We have an R&D team, 23 scientists from the Bulgarian Academy of Science. A lot of our professors actually teach as well. And then we have all their undergraduates. One lady just did her tarantula. She did her doctor's thesis on one of the bacteria, fungi actually, that's in tarantula. So because of all this research, and I've got a government license, only 3 companies in the world have licenses directly from national governments, and that is a GW Pharmaceutical company in Israel and Advanced Nutrients. So we've had that license for a while, so we're able to test for research purposes all kinds of things on that plant. I've got a plethora of really smart dudes making the best nutrients in the world.
Right, so when we're at the store, we see all the different colors, see the signs.
It's like we take from birth to senescence, and we met every part of that growth throughout its time, and the plant does change with its needs. And macro, secondary, and micronutrients are just part of the story. It gets a lot deeper than that. It's like what form of calcium do you have? Right. Okay, then now is it chelated? What's the form of chelation? All that matters, and you got to get that right. I call it the fundamentals, the cornerstones of building a great nutrient is getting that part right. But then there's a lot of other things that you can do to optimize that plant. So, and we do some pretty cool stuff that people won't even realize is going on in our products. Yeah.
What's the future of Advanced?
Wow. Okay, so we're 50 million a year now. Our goal is 150 million NASDAQ big board, IPO. That's where we want to go. So that's about 5 to 7 years, maybe a little bit. I don't know. Like the first 50 million takes 14 years to go, right?
The first 50 million.
Yeah, it is. And so after that, it's like probably the next 50 million we've done like 3-4 years now. The way that this marketplace is growing. And then after that, who knows?
Yeah, my first 50 million it was
Listen, and here's the thing, no banks help us. We never got a bank loan, line of credit, none of that stuff. Because we're playing for products at that time. And now we're like cannabis, But we were always like, from day one, we always said cannabis, and that was the rub.
Well, that's what sets you apart. I mean,
Well, it did. We did. As the first one, people know that we kind of owned that mind share as cannabis nutrient, and we put out. Here's the deal: if you grown or consume any marijuana product, you have benefited from something advanced nutrients is done. Period.
You have that much better.
Yeah, we got 53 industry first, and they follow us. Like we're the leader, and people watch what we do, and it's kind of cool.
So, how'd you hook up with these two lovely ladies?
Man, just blind luck. I was out like driving over here.
Blind luck.
And they were like hitchhiking. And so I said, you know what? Hey, you girls look pretty hot. I think you should come to this show and you can make some money. And they said, yeah, they're here. That's kind of how it happened.
We heard about the 50 mil and the potential for 140 mil, and then we're like, damn, Big Mike's really tall. So we kind of just did some math in our brains. Like, let's jump on.
Big Mike is
There you go.
very tall.
And here we are.
And there they are. Well, there you have it. Big Mike from Advanced Nutrients, coming by the